not quite sure what to do for the final video. I'm kind of stuck between two questions, but I'm going to do my last video on self-harm and people's views of it being attention seeking. I don't think, and I know, self-harm isn't a way of gaining attention. The majority of people who self-harm don't actually show it and they hide it. I started self-harming when I was about 7. I used to tie my shoes really tight to the point that my feet would go blue and I couldn't really feel my feet. And then from there I went to cutting when I was about 12. I went through various stages where I would wear bandages and I think they looked cool and nobody would know, but of course they knew. But in my head I thought no one would know if I wear bandages. I would wear long tops in summer, I would wear long gloves, I would wear neck gloves, I would wear bracelets, and I've recently just taken all my bracelets off, but I've got previous videos on YouTube where I'm not quite sure if there are any videos where you can see my arms, but I used to wear like bracelets up to about here and on here on this arm, and I've taken them off because I don't see why I should hide who I am anymore. Plus I haven't done it in 2 months, so you can't really see anything anyway. I used to try every single method to hide the fact I self-harmed. I didn't actually really tell anyone apart from my therapist, from my best friend, and recently I've told my support worker. I told my mum because I was scared. I didn't really want to, so I told in total about 5 people in my entire life, and I'm 21. And so for me it wasn't attention seeking because nobody really knew, and on top of that I always used to hide it. Just because a person cuts doesn't mean it's the only way of self-harm. So some people may drink, some people may smoke, some people might be in a harmful relationship but refuses to let the relationship go because they like it in a way, or you know, they might be very reckless and that is their way of self-harm. So just because a person self-harms doesn't mean, you know, they are attention seeking, because there are many different forms of self-harm and you can't always see them. For a person to come out and say they self-harm is such an achievement, and it's something I really struggle with. On camera it's fine because I don't feel too bad about it because of the fact that I don't know anybody really on the internet. That sounds so sad. But nobody I know personally is going to see this video and sees my videos. Nobody knows I've got a YouTube channel. So I don't feel the urge to hide who I am. I can be very open, but I feel like with the people I know and with people in public, because they can see me physically in front of them, I feel like I need to hide. The fact that there is almost like a taboo around self-harm, like, oh my god, look at these people, like they are attention seeking and how could they do this themselves? Like, I think every person in a way does self-harm. Maybe not physically, but they do something that harms them, but they prefer to stay within that situation rather than getting out. A lot of people don't even realise that they are self-harming because they're just not aware. You know, just because a person has physical scars on their arms, you know, it's very hard for a person to admit they do it, and it's very brave as well. It's taken me absolutely years to even say it. I couldn't even say the word self-harm for years because I was almost scared to say it. One thing that has made me want to speak about it and talk about it is by giving myself more awareness of it, and by sharing the fact I do it with others and I used to do it and how I do it, it actually stops me, because it's the idea of, again, suffering in silence. And when nobody knew, I felt like, well, I can do it because nobody knows. It's almost like my secret, and it was something I was hiding, and almost like because nobody knew, I almost had more control. I never ever planned on anyone seeing my arms. So even just to take off my braces is really like weird for me because I never actually thought this day would come, but it did. By making people aware, I don't know, but it kind of made me stop doing it as much as I was, because I was like, no, they know I'm doing it, and they know how much I'm doing it, and they know it's wrong, and I know it's wrong, and just the fact that somebody was aware really had an impact. And so I tried to hide it more, even though a lot of people knew, and by doing that it almost increased it again, the amount I was cutting. And so that's why recently I've taken all my bracelets off. I almost can't hide it now. And if self-harming was attention seeking, I would be self-harming. But the fact that I can see my arms and everyone else can see my arms, I feel like I physically cannot cut, because of the fact that people can see. It upsets me when people say that self-harming is attention seeking, because you're almost judging a person before you've even got to know them. And I don't know, I think it's quite hypocritical, because a person could be holding a beer and they know the harm it's going to cause their liver, yet they can stand there and tell a person that self-harm is attention seeking, and why could a person do that to themselves? Self-harm is a way of releasing, and it's a way of a cry for help, and it's a way of, you know, coping. It's a coping mechanism. So in my opinion, self-harm isn't attention seeking, it's just a way of coping with all the horribleness and ickiness of the world.